Good morning everyone. Alright, so watching a few stocks this morning. SNOA is gapping up a pretty big amount from 363 all the way to 456. Keeping an eye on that one. Also watching LFIN. This is a small gapper, but I'm going to watch this one for potential long just to see if it can start pushing up. Maybe break this 12.99 resistance of today. Also watching INPX. This one's a small gapper as well. It's actually 100% break even, but it's moving more than it usually does in pre-market and in after hours. You can see it definitely has more volume and is moving a little bit more than average. And so I'm going to keep an eye on this one for potential long, especially if it starts to push up and break this 121 area. We'll see what happens with that. Watching CNAT. This one's gapping down a pretty big amount. I know it's on pretty bad news. I can't remember what the news exactly is, but it's gapping down, so I'm going to look for a possible rebound or maybe a short if it breaks that 320 low of after hours and pre-market. Still kind of looking for some stocks here, so still kind of on the hunt for some. Let me know if you guys see anything. Still kind of building my watch list. Let's see. Yeah, there's HMNY pushing up some. BPMX gapping up some. Alright, so keeping an eye on INPX here, like I said. I'll go ahead and add my watch list to the chat. Alright, so good morning, chain smokers. 7, Imago, Max. So today's your first trade with real money, Imago. Good luck, man. Good luck. You should do awesome, man. Just stay patient, stay calm. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. And, yeah, enjoy it, man. Congrats. Alright, so this is on my watch list so far. Alright, so this is my watch list for this morning. Good morning, Sean. Alright, so let's see. Let's look at some of these callouts from Atheon. SAN looks okay. RVP. ISIG. AXAS. HOS. WYY. FAC. Yeah, these all have pretty low volume though. SAN, NOK. I kind of like NOK. We'll see if we can pick up some volume here. Let me look to see which ones of these are tradable this morning. So LFIN is, CNAT is. No, man. You know, SNOA was definitely my favorite watch, but it's not tradable, unfortunately, on TradeNet. Alright, so LFIN, CNAT, and NOK are tradable. So is CONN. DLPN is not. TENX is. LABD. HMNY. Alright, so 3 out of 10 stocks are tradable. Unfortunately, the one I was looking forward to the most, which is SNOA, is unfortunately not tradable, so that's a bummer. I know I was watching INPX as well. Let me see. INPX is not tradable, so 4 out of 11. I'm still going to be watching HMNY here. It's up about 38 cents in pre-market. Gap it up a pretty big amount, so we'll see what happens with it. Maybe short this one if it starts to crash, but we'll see. What's up, JT, man? Where you been, bro? Why they aren't tradable, you know, it's just a lot of the times the cheaper stocks are not tradable on TradeNet. I mean, some of them are, like you can see CNAT is, HMNY is, LFIN is. But what you'll notice is that it's usually the more popular stocks that are tradable. And so the relatively unknown stocks that just gap up for a day and then end up crashing, really the ones I like to short the most, like SNOA, I really like to short these stocks at the open. You know, since they're relatively unknown and a lot of times they only pop up for a day, usually they're not tradable on TradeNet. And so I kind of got to find a decent mix of ones that are up a decent amount and overextended to short at the open, and ones that are popular enough to be tradable on TradeNet. Congrats, JT. Congrats, man. That's awesome, dude. I mean, it doesn't really have much to do with volatility. Like, you can see LFIN is super volatile, you know. This thing goes up to 142, down to 33, up to 77, down to 11. Today it's at 1194. So this thing's pretty crazy and pretty volatile, and it's tradable. It's all about how popular the stock is. So like this winter, all the popular blockchain stocks like DPW, MARA, HMNY, and some of the other really popular stocks from this winter are tradable on TradeNet. Sometimes it does, but it's just on whether TradeNet decides to add them, you know, and sometimes it just doesn't add them, you know, and so. But yeah, watching HMNY here. Keeping an eye on BPMX too. Let's look up to see why some of these are moving. One I'm really happy about, you can see LABD. I'm holding LABD here. I'm holding an LABD put. And this thing crashed yesterday, so I was really happy to see that. I'm holding a put. I may just unload it today and take a decent profit on that trade. Watching INPX as well. So we'll see what happens with it. You know, there's not too many huge gappers this morning, and so I'll try to look for more long setups. Okay, but let's look at SNOA. and see why this thing is particularly moving. Alright, so SNOA received FDA approval for its antimicrobial post-therapy gel. And so that's why it's up. That's pretty good news. FDA approval on SNOA. And so I'm still pretty short biased with it, but that is a real catalyst. And so we'll see what kind of happens at the open. Got to be careful. LFIN doesn't have any news that I see. It had some news yesterday. Let's see, LFIN. All right, so LFIN disclosed an SEC investigation, material weaknesses in financial reporting. And so this thing must have crashed a few days ago and just be rebounding from that. Yeah, so this thing crashed hard the last 5 days or so. And this is just it bouncing back and rebounding. And so, got to be careful with this one. Let's look at CNAT. All right, so CNAT. All right, so CNAT states that the mid-stage Imricasin trial for liver disease fails to meet primary endpoint. And so bad results on the trial for CNAT for the drug. And so that's why it gapped down a huge amount. Honestly, I could see CNAT really going either way here. If it pushes over and breaks this 475 level right here, it has some room to fill some of this gap. But if it breaks down under this 320 level, it may be a good short, or all the way down to these points as well. So we'll see which way it goes. Bad news for CNAT. INPX doesn't have any news that I see out yet, so not sure what's going on with it. All right, also looking at CON for CONS, CONN, gapping down a pretty big amount. Gonna watch it. Possible reversal play here. All right, so Cons Inc. reports fourth quarter fiscal year 2018 financial results. So they must not have been great for it to be gapping down some. Then there's DLPN. And DLPN is gapping up because the 2017 revenue more than doubled, and so that's good news for DLPN. Good revenue here. There's also TENX, huge runner yesterday. Still a little bit short bias with this one just because it's still up a lot, and it could very easily come back down to the level that it started at yesterday. So gonna watch TENX here. Like I said, I'm holding a put in LABD. Definitely starting to head back down in my direction, so I may unload it. I have until April 31st, I believe, so still about 3 weeks until I have to unload it, but definitely liking how that one looks. HMNY is a gapper this morning. I may watch this one for a short or for a potential long, it just depends. Alright, Upstart Movie Pass to join with Cinema Service Movie Phone. And so that's why HMNY is up. And so yeah, that's about it. There's also BPMX gapping up some. So we'll keep an eye on it. JT here, my pennies for today. All right, let's check out JT's penny stocks. NETE gapping up some. Gonna keep an eye on that. CRIS. Okay, kind of like it, gapping up some. WLB. I like that late spike it had yesterday, and now you can see it's gapping up some. CRMD. I like CRMD better than all of the other two. Maybe add CRMD to my other watch list to maybe get in on Robinhood or something like that. AMD, AMD, I think this is a, is this an oil related stock or an energy stock? CHFS. Okay, so there we go. So thank you for telling me about CHFS. I know this one's tradable on TradeNet, and this one is overextended. I really want to short this one, and so thank you very much for telling me about that. Now I actually have one that I can watch for a potential short. I'm going to put HMNY here and move CNAT to my other screen. But yeah, I like CHFS for a short, especially if it can't hold over 350. What's up, Gary? I haven't built hotkeys yet. I kind of like to, I just feel comfortable using just the regular platform. But welcome, man. Glad you're here, man. Good morning, Jonathan. What's up, man? I talked to Jonathan on the phone last night. Yeah, so Jonathan wants to know, guys, if what's some potential long setups. He only can trade longs until he opens up his SureTrader account, so he's looking for potential longs. I would say maybe HMNY, but I'd also be careful for a potential short here. Maybe if it breaks over 345, but it's like I kind of was telling you, maybe look for an opening range breakout or a washout long on HMNY. If it does drop down, see if it holds $3 as resistance. Remember, I'm not an investment professional, so I'm not liable for any losses anybody takes. I always have to preface that, you know, every time I try to, you know, say what I would do in the market, and this is just what I would do. And so, yeah, maybe HMNY. Maybe INPX, and the reason I like INPX, you could see if it holds over 1, you know, and I mean, I know it's moving down some, but $1 is usually a huge support and resistance area, and so it's starting to drop under that now. But maybe if it starts to push up and breaks over 1, and then maybe breaks this little high right here at 110, maybe for potential long setup for a washout long or a 1 minute pullback if it does start to run. So those are really the ones I'm kind of watching. I'm also watching CNAT to see if it reverses and starts to head back up, but you know, who knows. Also watching CONN for kind of the same plan. If it starts to push back up, breaks 32 and fills some of this gap up. GERN, G-E-R-N. Yeah, I want to see a little bit more volume with it. And I mean, honestly, SNOA had really good news, and so this thing could easily push up. GSAT, AIPT. I kind of like AIPT. See if it holds over that $1 area for maybe a long setup. HMNY, ANY. I like ANY too. Had a late day spike. Had a late day spike, gapping up some. Let's see what it usually does in pre-market. Yeah, it's moving more than it usually does. Not by much though, and it just dropped under 1. So if it holds over 1, I like it a little bit better, but we'll see. BUR, Cron. I kind of like Cron too. Slowly kind of pushing up here. Alright, so yeah, these are probably my main watches though. These 4, SNOA, LFIN, HMNY, and CHFS. They have the most volume in pre-market. Good morning, Alba. EVEP. Yeah, it's starting to head up. UAVS. Yeah, UAVS is right around the high of yesterday at 535. We'll see what happens with it. I'm going to look up to see why CHFS is moving. I just hope CHFS can stay up so it maybe gets rejected at the open. Alright, so CHFS initiates a distribution agreement in Spain. And so pretty good news for it. We'll see if it can hold these gains though. Gonna watch INPX, see if it pushes over 1 and holds. Ended up getting stopped out of EGO yesterday. Let me see if I have any trades yet for Robinhood. Alright, I do. I have 1 trade. Nice. Alright, so I got 1 trade to do on Robinhood today. Yeah, CHFS could easily, push up. I'm actually watching it for potential short, but, I really don't like to try to predict stocks beforehand. I like to, I always have my biases. Like, I'm a little bit short biased with CHFS. But I like to just kind of react to what I see happen at the open. And so at the open, if it gives me a good, overextended short setup when it breaks the low of the day, I might jump in short, and if it gives me a good washout long setup at the open, I might jump in long. It just depends on how it acts at the open, But everybody's different, everybody has their own trading style, so. Right, that's what I'm looking at, outsiders. I'm looking at shorting it potentially under maybe 325, especially if it gets rejected at 350. Try to give it a little bit of time, but I think it's going to start coming down sometime today. And so going to be watching that. See about INPX, it's a little bit smaller of a gap, maybe to see if it'll run at the open. Or HMNY, I'm sorry. Kind of watching HMNY here. Smaller gap, up from about 298 to 325, so about a 27-cent gap. Still a big gap, but about 10% gap, but I like it for a long a little bit more than CHFS. Alright, so we have about 15 minutes, 14 minutes until the open. I want to see CHFS hold up until the open though, so I can maybe get in for a short once the open happens. If it starts to wash too much before the open, I don't like it as much. You're chasing insider trading this week 7. Yeah, you know, Power Zone says if I went short on everything I went long, I'd be pretty well off by now. Yeah, the reason being is because panic is a lot stronger of an emotion than hope. You know what I mean? So when people see a stock falling, you know, panic is a much quicker emotional reaction than hope is. And I always want to stay hopeful, especially if I'm looking at the SPY or something like that. But something I've learned is that a lot of times these big gappers fail, and so you know, I try to take advantage of the short going under it. You can see INPX is at $1 now, so it's trying to hold over that level. That's usually a pretty huge support and resistance level. So it's over 1. Maybe going to watch it for a trade on Robinhood or something like that. Good morning, Matt. BKD. Yeah, maybe BKD over this $6.66 level. I don't know if that's a bad sign, the stock being at $6.66, but we'll see what happens there. Not moving too much. Had a little bit of a spike earlier. See what it does at the open. So yeah, watching for a few long setups. With long setups, I kind of just like to wait until the open, just because you never know. When I wait for a stock to actually start moving some and get in after a 1-minute pullback or something like that. But yeah, Jonathan, don't let me sway you away from your original trade idea. You know, everybody's different. I could be wrong with these, and so I don't want to sway you away from whatever you were thinking, you know. All right, LFIN looks interesting, especially if it pushes over this $13 level. You can see it bounced right off of it yesterday during market hours, hit $12.99 and then came back down. But it's slowly starting to creep up towards that high of yesterday. Now it's at $12.39, so going to be watching it over $12.99. See what happens with it. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe, you know, depending on how HMNY, I mean, it's almost a 10% gap. It's not gapping up as much as CHFS is, but yeah, maybe a short, maybe a long. I'm just going to see how it acts at the open. You can see LFIN here is pushing up. It's at 1270 now, so it's starting to head up. Gonna watch it over that $13 high of yesterday, $12.99 high of yesterday. So got a few options this morning. You can also see CRON is up to $6, sitting right at 6 now, up from 560, so up 40 cents. Not quite a big gap, but it's moving some. LFIN at 1267. Alright, so INPX is sitting right at 1. I'm going to look to see if this one pushes up some at the open, just because it's sitting right at the support area of 1. If it breaks under that, you know, I'm just going to ignore it. But if it holds over 1 and starts to push, I may jump into it on Robinhood. We'll see. Yeah, that's the attitude to have, Power Zone. Just be, be optimistic, man. It takes time to learn how to trade. It takes a lot of time just to be consistent. Most traders take years to be profitable, and so, you just got to persevere through it, man. Thanks for the subscribe, Akani. Appreciate it. Welcome. Yeah, that's a smart, that's a good way of doing it. Wait for the first 5-minute candle. You can either wait for the first 5-minute candle, or you can watch 1 minute and wait for the first 5 1-minute candles. Let them form a high and a low. That's usually what I like doing, something around there. Usually I wait for at least 2 or 3 1-minute candles before jumping into anything. Try to let it form a high and low, TEUM. Yeah, TEUM's a small gapper. We'll see if this one has some room to push up as well. I like this one for potential long if it continues to head up. Maybe tries to break that 239 level. Nice 7. Yeah, well, let us know their stocks, man. Give us a heads up. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put TEUM on the other side of my list. Alright, so watching INPX, LFIN, HMNY, CHFS. What's up, Anthony? The TVIX 1-year forecast. I mean, we'll see which way it goes, TVIX is a volatility ETF or ETN. See what the SPY's doing today. I haven't looked at the SPY yet this morning. SPY's up. And so the TVIX should be down because of that. Yeah, so the TVIX is down, SPY's up. What's up, Track? IQ? Yeah, it's gapping up some. We'll see what happens with it. Yeah, I mean, SNOA, I was always short biased with it. Just because it's gapping up so much. It's gapping up an entire dollar, basically, a little bit under $1. And so, maybe it looks like it's gapping up like 87 cents. Something around there. 85, 87 cents. And so a huge gap, almost 25%, And so I was definitely short biased with SNOA. DLPN is another one I'm watching too. It's gapping up, doesn't have the most volume, but still watching it regardless. Alright guys, we got less than 4 minutes until the open. Right, that's what I've noticed as well, Alba. A lot of stocks I see are pushing up later on in the day. There were a few stocks that did that yesterday. And so that's something I've noticed as well. Alright guys, we got 3 minutes until the open. And the thing about it though, guys, is that I know I kind of say what I think will happen with these stocks. I always have my biases, but I never really know which way they're going to go. Some of these stocks that I'm planning on shorting could easily push up, break the pre-market high, and start running. Like HMNY, if it breaks 345, might be strong. CHFS, if it breaks 365, it might push up in a strong way. LFIN is testing that high of yesterday right now. It's at 1275. It looks like it went up and tapped it, so we'll see if it gets rejected there or not. But yeah, stocks could go either way. I like to just kind of react to what I see at the open. I hope CHFS doesn't keep falling here. I'd prefer it to hold and maybe short it at the open if it gets rejected at 350. What's up, Jackson? What's up, Matt? Right, for sure 7. Or for sure Sean. Yeah, a lot of them. So you can see INPX is up, and look at the spike on LFIN. Broke the previous high of the day from yesterday at 13, and that thing's starting to push now. Look, it's up to 13.17. That might be the parabolic mover of the day. It had a huge down day in the last, or a huge downtrend in the last 5 days. So you can see the strength of it pushing up now, trying to rebound. Appreciate it, NYC. Welcome back, man. All right, market's opening up in 1 minute. Gonna be watching INPX maybe for a long on Robinhood. You can see it's up to 105 now. Let me get it ready. Get in with like 100 shares depending on what it does. But yeah, look at LFIN. I don't know, it pushed over that high of yesterday. The high of yesterday was $12.99, and it pushed over it for a minute, but then it got rejected and it's back down under it now, sitting at $12.79. So we'll see how it acts. It's having a lot of volume though, so we'll see. Good luck, everyone. Appreciate it, NYC. Yeah, everybody hit that like button if you appreciate this content, guys. All right, guys, we got 5 seconds. Good luck. Market's opening up right now. All right, so here we go. CHFS, HMNY getting a quick volume spike. CHFS is falling quick. DLPN getting a volume spike here. Quick drop in CHFS. The only problem is just not giving me an entry. So maybe look for a washout long, bounce back. There goes LFIN. Yeah, unfortunately, CHFS just didn't give me that entry I was looking for. I'll wait a little bit. HMNY would have been a nice low of the day short. A little bit too quick acting, but dropping down from 329. Huge drop on HMNY. The only area to really get in was right there. Alright, see if it bottoms here with CHFS. Looks like it may be. Gonna let it form a low. And thus is why I like shorting these overextended stocks. You can see HMNY tanks, CHFS tanked. Maybe a good long setup for CONN. Starting to bounce back, maybe going to fill some of this gap going up. Unfortunately, I just didn't get any good entries. There wasn't any good setups. You can see DLPN is starting to run some. Had a nice little 1 minute pullback right there. Looks like CHFS might be bouncing back here. We'll see, but DLPN had a nice little 1 minute pullback. You can see right here. Missed the entry for it, but I couldn't get in it on TradeNet anyway. VSTO. Kind of like CNET here. If it breaks this 440 level, maybe gets up there. So there's a good low of the day break on HMNY. We'll see if it continues to head down. But look at DLPN. Really nice 1 minute pullback setup right here. And Cron. Yeah, there goes DLPN. It's kind of going supernova here. CRON, maybe. Man, look at DLPN. This is the one to go supernova. You can see a nice 1 minute pullback setup right here. Little range breakout. Man, DLPN, guys, is going supernova here, up to 564. Yeah, there just wasn't any good entries with them. I'm still watching CHFS here. Alright, so I'm in with 30 shares on CHFS, even if it can break under that $3 level. I'll try to give it a little bit of time. See if we can get under 3. Alright, there goes HMNY. Would have been a nice low of the day short as well, but unfortunately I just missed out on it. A little bit worried for CHFS, a reversal here. I'm going to try to give it some time. I took a small enough share size to where I'm not too worried about it. If it goes the other way, I might take a $5 loss maybe. But obviously I want it to head back down, break the low of the day at 3, and continue falling. Would have been a nice low of the day short on HMNY. Missed it here at 316 though. Gonna let CHFS ride through this pushback up. Give it a little bit of time. All right, there we go. There's another drop down to 3. Try to give CHFS that break under 3. There we go, down to 302. Let's see a low of the day break here, hopefully. EVEP on a run. Yeah, EVEP's on a little run. You can also see TEUM is on a little bit of a run here as well. Look at the TEUM up to 235. And that's why I said these small gappers, man. These small gappers, a lot of time, they're the ones that run the most. And TEUM is a good example of that. Nice little washout long set up there. Was looking for a little bit quicker break on CHFS, so I'm going to be very careful with it and jump out of it if it starts to head up. DLPN's failing after that initial push this morning. And HMNY would have been a beautiful low of the day short at 316. Unfortunately, couldn't take advantage of it. Yeah, waiting for CHFS, trying to have patience with it. But I would have loved it to break that $3 point already, and it hasn't yet. And so, got to be more careful with it. Still kind of hovering in between this support area, or this resistance area, and $3. So, in between these two levels right here and here, it's kind of bouncing back and forth. Gonna try to give it a little bit of time. I want that $3 break down to 302. Nice, 301. Let's see if it goes for it. 297. There we go. See if we get a bigger pop down. Trying to bounce up over 3, maybe a fake out here. Maybe finding some support at 3. Let's see if it holds. But yeah, the trade to make for me at least was HMNY under this 316 level. Probably should have used a little bit larger sizing with CHFS. I mean, I got in when it broke the low at like what, 308 or 310, so I was up 15 cents at one point. But it looks like it may be finding some support at $3. Nice, Matt. Good job, man. William, this is TradeNet. There it goes back down under 3. Down to 298 now. We'll see if it continues to fall here. It's obviously what I'm looking for. It's trying to hold over 3 though. Those whole dollar level resistance and supports are pretty strong. Good morning, commentary. What's up, man? Yeah, no problem, William. Yeah, I'm using TradeNet. Also using Robinhood, but I don't see too much I like on the long side this morning, which is why I'm usually short biased. Yeah, the play I missed today was HMNY under 315. Bouncing up a little bit for CHFS. Gonna let it run up to 315 and get out if it gets up there. Just didn't want to break under 3. I was up 15 cents at one point. I gotta work on using larger sizing just because I was up a decent amount, but unfortunately my sizing didn't allow me to take profits when I should have. Welcome, Drew. Appreciate the sub, man. Welcome. But you can see this is why I like shorting these overextended gappers. HMNY, CHFS. HMNY was up about 10%. CHFS was up way more than that. And you can see they both tanked at the open. Patiently holding CHFS. Like I said, if it gets up and tests this support level or this resistance level here at 314, I'll probably bail out of it. Until then, I'm going to try to be patient with it. JT, it's not bad, man. It's not bad. If you want to see it here, it's right here. This is Robinhood Web. And so it's not too bad. I like it, you know. Obviously they could do a few things a little bit better, but I can't complain too much about free, you know. Nice 7. Awesome, dude. What's up, Ben? What's up, man? Alright, so LFIN apparently is on a big run still. Look at LFIN, guys. This thing is up to 1440. Crazy move on it. Up to 1450. TEUM still pushing up some. Look at TEUM. This is a good example of why these small gappers, ones that are moving but not necessarily gapping up a huge amount, are sometimes the biggest movers. Gonna be watching this one over 239 here. There's a big jump in CHFS. Gonna give it time. Don't like it as much though. Gonna be patient, cut it off soon if it continues to push. But man, look at LFIN up to 1487 now. 1490 at its highs. Crazy move. Trying to rebound here for CHFS. Like I said, I'm going to get out at 315. Stick to my plan. Maybe let it get to 316. But TEUM testing the high of yesterday at 239. It's at 238 now. See if it gets rejected there, which I think it may. TEUM, they must have taken it off the trade list for TradeNet. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, outsiders, but I'm not super confident in it now. I use Robinhood William just because, I mean, I have 3 day trades a week, and so I just, you know, trade those. Yeah, I'd really like to see CHFS fall under 3. It's down to 3 again. It keeps bouncing off of that area. HMNY doing the same thing, under 3. Alright, there goes CHFS, bounce under 3 again. It just can't seem to break under it. So it's acting as really good support. HMNY was the short to take though. Yeah, LFIN is acting crazy. Up to 15. Went up to 15.26. Right. I mean, that's mostly what I do with Robinhood as well. I'll get in a few day trades when I have them. But Robinhood's more meant for swing trading for me at least. But man, look at LFIN here. Crazy, crazy move. And you can see TEUM broke the high of yesterday. It's up to 242. Man, CHFS is continually trying to break under 3, but it just can't. Gonna wait for a low of the day break, maybe, see if it has a little bit of momentum after that. But man, LFIN's going parabolic this morning. Up to 1620, 1630. Up to 1640 now. Crazy move on LFIN. CIE. Yeah, on LFIN. Yeah, it's getting squeezed up. Everybody that was shorting it, selling. Or everybody that's shorting it is selling is covering their shorts. In turn, it's making it push up, so it's getting squeezed. Man, up to 1675. This thing's running huge. CHFS may be done here. It gets over 313. I'm bailing out. Alright, so it looks like LFIN is finally halted. I thought it would be halted a little bit earlier than that. But man, look at that move. CEI on a run. Man, yeah, look at CEI, guys. Crazy move. Had a nice little 1 minute pullback right here. So this is why you'll see one of my favorite long setups is this little 1 minute pullback, getting in after this pullback. But yeah, the trade I'm the most bummed out about missing this morning is HMNY short under 315. Yeah, look at this move, man. You made a healthy profit though, huh, outsiders? It could be either bad or good, Matt. A halted stock is just when the stock has so much volume. They put a hold on the stock moving. Usually it's about 5 to 10 minutes and it resumes. A lot of the time if it's pushing up, it resumes higher, which, you know, I think LFIN will resume at about 18. But yeah, I think CHFS is done. At least for my short. Wasn't a bad short. I mean, I was up 15 cents at one point, just didn't use large enough sizing to take advantage of the move. There's a fallback down on CHFS down to 3. Let's see if it can finally get under 3. It's been trying really hard. There it goes, 297, 295. Trying to hold through, have patience here, but it keeps bouncing back after breaking under 3 over and over again. It's trying to do it again. Let's see if it can finally hold under 3 now for CHFS. It's been trying really hard to stay over it. There's back up to 3. Sitting right at $3 even now. Let's see if it can hold his resistance. Ultimately what I'm looking for. 299. NYC Outsiders is the poster. 3 people above you. Thanks for the subscribe. Repay. Welcome, man. Alright, let's see if CHFS can finally break under 3. Trying to have patience with it. It's down to 97. Let's see where my entry was with this one. I can't even remember. Entry is 305. So yeah, I was up 10, 15 cents. 10 cents, really, at one point. But man, CHFS just doesn't look like it wants to hold under 3. See a low at the daybreak here. Hopefully. CEI starting to push up, maybe getting over 81 cents. You see the bid is at 298. The ask is at 3 for CHFS. So it really wants to hold over 3. Spread's getting a little bit closer. 299 to 301. Up to back over 3. I'm going to get out. Just didn't do what I wanted it to. Took a little bit too long. If it falls down here, I'm going to be frustrated, but I held it as long as I could. My patience was running a little thin with it. And so I'm out of CHFS. I'm using TradeNet, Miz. Yeah, I just didn't have the patience to hold on to it anymore. With commissions, a tiny loss, but, you know, this thing just continued to find support at $3. Maybe I should have stuck to my plan. We'll see how it acts, but I think it was time for me to get out. The short I missed that I'm bummed out about, I know I've said it over and over again, is HMNY. Would have been a really nice short. Low of the day short. You can see it formed 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. When it finally broke under this 315 low of the day, it just tanked hard down to 296. They're $3 per trade with the share size I'm using. So I'm down on that trade 270. So tiny loss. Yeah, LFIN's tanking. It gapped up from that halt, but it ended up falling down immediately after. Oh my gosh. The most frustrating thing in the world, guys. All I can really do is laugh about it. My trade idea was correct. I can't be too upset. It went down to 292. But most frustrating thing ever. Look at this. CHFS breaking under that low of the day. It happens, though. My trade idea was correct. I guess that's what I should be happy with. And I've been seeing a lot of setups that I've been right with a lot of these stocks. See you, Mitch. Thanks for watching, man. Yeah, CHFS down to 292. That was the trade to hold. Just didn't have the patience. Let's see if that previous resistance at 3, or that previous support at 3 turns into support. What's up, Miz? Welcome, man. Welcome. Thanks for the sub. I can't be too upset because here's why. The reason I'm not super upset was because my trade idea was correct. And, you know, I minimized my loss. My loss was tiny. And so my trade idea was correct with a few of these stocks this morning. I just didn't take advantage of them like I should have. Maybe use a little bit larger sizing tomorrow. I know I said that before, but got to work on having my confidence up there enough. And really, even though I got out too early, my confidence on CHFS on this play is pretty good just because, you know, all pre-market I was saying I think this thing's going to tank. I think this thing is going to wash, going to be looking to short it. And obviously, you know, it went down from 355 all the way to 293. So, you know, 58 cents. A lot of room to profit there. And so, unfortunately, I couldn't take advantage of it as it continues to fall. But my trade idea was correct and my confidence is high with it. So, any loss is a lesson in trading. And this is definitely one of them as it falls down to 290. Yeah, I think it might head down to the 270s as well. I think it might head down to right here, this 276 level. Thoughts on exits with high of the day breaks. So I usually try to make, you know, with my high of the day breaks, it's usually pretty quick scalps for me. Just because a lot of the times it will break the high of the day. It'll get that nice momentum push when it finally does break. And it'll push up a decent amount. But then after that first flag, it will kind of crash some. And so I usually try to trade pretty quickly with high of the day breaks. And I use support and resistance previously on the chart as kind of my cue to when to get out of it. And so, for instance, if a stock breaks the high of the day at 275, usually my exit is going to be around $3 if it gets that high, you know. And if it starts to show weakness, I just bail out of it. For sure. Look at that, man. Appreciate that, Insurance. Hey, man, that gives me confidence. Insurance said, beginner, I just calculated all your wins with a larger account. You would be up over 100K. For sure, man, for sure. I just got to use bigger sizing, dude. You know, I've only had a few losing days in the last 2 weeks. I was telling Jonathan about it yesterday on the phone because Jonathan called me. And so if anybody wants to talk to me on my phone, message me on Facebook and I'll give you my number. But yeah, I was talking to Jonathan about it, letting him know, you know, I've only had a few losing days in the last 2 weeks. Wednesdays have been a pretty bad day for me. For some reason, I call it my cursed day because I always seem to have a losing day on Wednesday. But regardless of how much my account's at, just that decent percentage wins builds my confidence. And so I just need to work on using larger sizing. My trade ideas have definitely been pretty spot on lately. And so, you know, it's just about implementing larger sizing and taking advantage of the moves more because my trade ideas have been correct. I've kind of found my niche that I like trading. And, you know, my niche is kind of shorting overextended stocks, maybe a washout long setup and 1 minute pullbacks. And for longs, if you want an example of a 1 minute pullback, you can look at DLP in here. You know, this thing ran up at the open, had a very small pullback right here. And then when it broke that 450 level, which, you know, when there's more than one setup going on simultaneously, the stock's going to have more momentum. And so with the high of the day break as well as a $0.50 break, you can see it pushed up. And so this is kind of one of my favorite long setups. I just need to focus on using bigger sizing and taking advantage of the moves more. Yeah, Power Zone, man. Wednesdays have been my worst days for sure. I call it my cursed day. You know, I have a few theories on it. Maybe it's just how the market acts on Wednesday. Another thing is my daughter wakes up and I have to get up at before 6, so I have to get up at like 5:30 in the morning on Wednesdays. And so maybe it's I don't get enough sleep that night, and so it kind of affects my trading. But regardless, Wednesdays have kind of been my cursed day, and so I gotta be careful on Wednesdays for sure. But every other day of the week has usually been pretty good, especially in the last 2 weeks, shorting these overextended stocks. So hopefully I can take advantage of it. Regardless of whether I have a losing or winning day, my confidence is pretty high, and it's finally kind of starting to click. They say in trading, if you can just be break even in trading, so as long as you don't lose too much money in trading, you're slowly starting to become a profitable trader, and you have the potential to be a profitable trader if you could just be break even trading consistently, and so I'm pretty confident that I'll get there. It may take a little bit of time. Got to have the guts to use bigger sizing to take advantage of these moves, but a majority of the time, I'm correct with my trade ideas, and so just got to focus on tweaking a few things, and I'll get there. Appreciate it, NYC. Thanks, man. I mean, I'm not necessarily hard on myself. Like today I had a loss, but I'm actually happy about it just because my trade idea was correct on CHFS, And so I'm actually happy about, even though it was a losing trade, only commissions is the only thing I lost. I'm still confident and happy about it just because my trade idea was correct. Just got to take a little bit larger sizing with it, Was up about 15 cents. And so just got to take bigger sizing, take advantage of the moves a little bit more. There's a KODK. I think LFAN is done. You see DHI, a little bit more expensive of a stock, is pushing. So yeah, guys, tomorrow, remember to remind me to use bigger sizing. I have to use bigger sizing if I'm going to take these gains out of the market. And I kind of got to get rid of my fear in the market a little bit. My trade ideas have been correct. So tomorrow on the stream, just remind me to use a little bit larger sizing. That's the one thing I need to do. And I think I'll be pretty set after that. NETE, guys. I know somebody called this one out earlier, but look at NETE. Another good example of a small gap play. Small gap running up pretty big a little bit later on in the day, but you can see the entry here was right when it broke this high at 736, and it even held that area as support. But yeah, you can see why I like shorting overextended stocks. That's kind of been my go-to setup. HMNY an example, CHFS an example. And so you can see why I like shorting them. People on Trade Ideas are talking about a Holly alert for a short on LFIN. I don't know if I want to jump in that going short, but people are talking about it. Maybe if it gets rejected at 1550, we'll see. SRAX, TENX. SRAX isn't moving at all. So yeah, I don't really like that one. It's just not moving. TENX. Man, TENX is ripping, guys. Look at this one, up to 9. Huge push from 750 to 9 in about 5 minutes. And NETE still running up to 870. TENX having a pullback here. Gotta be careful with it. Watching it to see if it pulls back to this 850 level. And yeah, you can see CHFS continues to wash down to 287. Having a little bit of FOMO with it, but I'm not going to jump into anything now. I'm just happy my trade idea was correct, regardless of whether I could take advantage of it or not. Now the only thing I got to tweak is the mental side. Yeah, I stream every weekday morning, Miz, from about 8:45 market time till about 10:15, 10:20 market time. Oh, for sure, insurance. And also insurance, that's kind of what I've been trading options with. Like with options, I look for overextended stocks and I look for overextended stocks and try to short them. Let me see, what's an example of it? My first option trade was, you know, with my options trade on Robinhood Options, it's kind of the same idea. GERN, I think is what it was. Look at this low of the day short. That would have been nice too. But yeah, GERN. I looked at the daily chart. You could see how extended GERN was, and I bought a put and sold for a pretty big percentage gain on my first options trade. And so that's kind of my plan with options as well, since it's a little bit longer term holdings with options, is to just look for overextended daily charts and buy puts. And then I never hold it until the option can be fulfilled. I usually just sell it after a few days if it drops like I want it to. But that's kind of my trade plan with options, and it's been working out pretty well. Yeah, we party every day in here. That's right. That's right, 7. CHK. Ferran, I'm only up, I'm down on the day. Only a small commission though. I'm down 270 after commissions. I had a correct trade idea on CHFS. I was talking about it all in pre-market about how I thought it was going to wash, and then I was going to try to short it. And I got it in at 305. I'd now be up 17 cents, 18 cents now. And I just didn't have the patience to hold through. And so, you know, it is what it is. Got to work on that. But that's the only trade I've been into today. INPX looks interesting here. I may jump in on Robinhood if it breaks this high of the day for a little washout long setup at 110. But man, look at NETE here. NETE breaking over 915, breaking up to 915. Alright, so I'm watching INPX for a potential rebound, washout long if it breaks over 110. We'll see what happens with it. It's up to 109 now, trying really hard here. It's up to 110 basically. It just broke 110. Alright, so I got in with 100 shares on INPX. It's up to 112 now. See if it has some more momentum. It's getting a volume spike here on INPX. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens, Ferran. You know, losing days are going to happen. Any trader that never says he has losing days is lying, you know. So losing days are going to happen. It's okay. I'll accept it, you know. Up to 113 on INPX. Let's see if I can win back that loss from CHFS here. Really wants to hold over it, but not too much volume. Right, 7. I don't know if I like INPX now. It couldn't hold over that high. Looks like it got rejected there. It's had a lot of resistance there. You can see at 110. It's got rejected yesterday before the close and today at the open. So, gonna give it time, but don't like it that much now. See if it can continue up. HMNY. Yeah, HMNY is trying to head up here. A lot of resistance there on INPX. And look at NETE breaking the high of the day again. Same thing with TENX is starting to push. HMNY starting to reverse. Only down about $1 so far on INPX. Give it time. Not my favorite though. We'll see if the volume can pick up. But yeah, guys, it's 10:15 market time. I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. Nice, Rabash. Good trade, man. I'll look to get out of INPX at 120, 121, where that high of yesterday was, if it does push up. Try to base it off of support, or base it off of that resistance there. Give it a little bit of time. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now, guys. It's 10:15. I'm going to put a watch list video out later on today to let you know how INPX did. It's kind of swinging back and forth, so I don't know if I really like it. But anyways, guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button now. We definitely appreciate it if you do. And if you want to do me a favor, and if you appreciate this content, watching me day trade live every weekday morning, make sure you hit the like button right now in this video. So everybody do me a favor and click the like button right now. And I appreciate it if you do. Basically a break-even day, down 270 on TradeNet. We'll see if I can bounce back at all tomorrow, and you know, my confidence is still high. Try to remind me to use bigger sizing. That's the biggest hole in my game right now, and so we'll see how that happens. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.